Stripped in the principal's office. This did happen about 15 years ago, but I can't help snickering about it from time to time. In high school, I was a pretty mild-mannered kid. I came from a very strict household, and a call from the school was absolutely unacceptable. I also wanted approval from authority figures, as I rarely got it at home, so I kept quiet, did good work and was generally well liked by my teachers. Like I said, it was a strict household and my outfits were closely inspected for modesty by my very conservative parents. If it passed at home, it wasn't going to get me in trouble. I tried hard to fit in with the other kids though, and found that wearing a layer underneath made regular outfits pass the home dress code. So I still got to wear the distressed jeans, but you could see black leggings instead of my knees. Not a huge deal, and it helped me feel better about my appearance, at least socially anyway. As trends were set, leggings became super popular. Finally, I was ahead and on point with my style. Some girls did begin to abuse the system though. School dress code required skirts to be no shorter than 3 inches, 1 index card, above the knee. Standard was suddenly lots of tiny denim mini skirts with leggings. So the school cracked down and said leggings were no longer allowed under skirts. Of course, since I had different home rules, I didn't even own a skirt that short. My skirts had to reach the knees, which was 3 inches longer than the school requirement. I didn't even mention the new school rule at home because I didn't think it was an issue. So I get super cute, wearing my knee-length denim skirt and leggings, as it was still trendy, and a bit chilly out, pass home inspection and head off to school. Nothing was said in my first 3 classes, but like I said, I was a good kid and always well covered. One of the super mean teachers, not even mine, just one standing outside her door, spotted my skirt and leggings in the hall, and grabbed me and marched me down to the office. I knew of the rule change, but I truly thought it wouldn't be a big deal since I wasn't wearing a mini skirt. She shoved me in and yelled something about a dress code violation and left to return to her class. I was called in, thinking the principal, who I didn't know well, would laugh with me about her unreasonableness. Boy, was I wrong. He screamed up and down how I was dressed inappropriately, and he would be calling my parents to come get me to take me home to change. Oh no. As I stood and turned around showing him my clothes, I tried to argue that my skirt met code and the leggings covered more. I even tried to explain that my parents would take it out on me in an aggressive manner. He wasn't going to hear any of it. I had to think fast. Cue malicious compliance. While he was still looking for the number to call, I kicked off my shoes and began wriggling the leggings down and off, right there in his office in front of him. Since my skirt was long enough, I shoved my pants in my bag and stated that now he has no reason to call my parents. I was fully compliant with the dress code of the school. As he stared with his mouth agape, I could see him turning red while trying to figure out how to deal with me. He ended up just yelling, "Get out of my office. Get to class." Never have I felt so relieved. TLDR, leggings weren't allowed under skirts, but I thought mine would be fine since it met regulations. When I got in trouble, I removed my leggings from under my skirt right in front of them. Now to the comments. Well, that's one way to change the subject. Well done. OP replied, "Thanks, I'm not usually so quick on my feet, but the fear of hearing 'How dare you embarrass us this way,' followed by an irrational punishment seemed to fuel a little creativity." Surprised Pikachu face when you have very limited contact with them when you're able to move out. I don't understand a policy where wearing more clothes, leggings under a skirt, is worse than wearing less, no leggings with a skirt. OP replied, "I think it came about because the skirts were so short, and many girls were wearing tights and calling them leggings. Tights are sheer, leggings are opaque. School just decided to nix the fad altogether. You'd think they'd crack down on the length of skirt, the issue, rather than what's underneath." Principal tight ass. Why did mermaid come out of your office without her leggings? Well, see, she started stripping in front of me and... I understand, sir. Hello, FBI. OP replied. LOL, that would have been perfect. And that's why he let you go. Imagine you came out, he made me strip. Wow. These school uniforms are ridiculous. It seems like enforcing it just takes time away from instruction, like how that teacher walked away from her class to take you to the office. OP replied. For sure, leaving 30 kids unattended for one in a knee-length skirt because you could see leggings on her calves. Learn to prioritize. In my state, a teacher would get fired for leaving their class alone for /any /length of time. That was perfect. I'm sure that principal was having fits about what people would think seeing you walk with leggings, and walk out without them. OP replied. He turned so red, not sure if anger or embarrassment, LOL. Embarrassment into fear most likely. He prompted a 15-year girl from a very conservative household to strip while alone in his office with him. It's not hard to pivot to he made me feel like I had to strip or I would be punished. And boom, he's done. You held his entire career in your hands right there, all in one bold move. I'm betting he didn't do that to any other girls for a while. What crappy teachers. You learned to deal with Karens early on. OP replied. LOL, my mother is an ultimate church lady Karen. I learned it way early on. I feel your pain. I am telling my church Karen mother and relaxed dad, not sure how they ended up married, that I'm moving in with my girlfriend. So yeah. I feel your pain. In addition to being a jerk to you, that teacher totally violated the teacher bro code. If the morning teachers don't dress code the kid, you don't send her down in the afternoon, makes the principal mad at the morning teachers for not catching it. OP replied. Sounds like a good rule, but this was my one and only brush with the clothing police. Also, it was at the start of fourth period, which was the last class before lunch. I'm curious how you managed with wearing a skirt after this happened, with your parents still wanting you to wear leggings under a skirt and school saying you couldn't? I had the same experience. Off-the-shoulder shirts were not allowed, and also shirts with straps less than 1 inch thick were not allowed. I did wear an off-the-shoulder shirt, but had on the 1-inch strap shirt underneath. I made it through my day until lunch, when the teacher threatened to send me home for dress code violation. I simply took off the shirt that covered more and went the rest of my day wearing only a tank top as opposed to a real t-shirt. Moral of the lesson, schools be cray. OP replied. Yes. Comply right in front of them and watch them seethe. I've never understood how people can get in trouble for violating the letter of a rule when they're still complying with the spirit of it. OP replied. And it was just a dumb rule all around, really. In this instance, yeah, I agree completely. Reminds me of this other story I read on this sub, only reversed. Leggings were allowed, but short shorts weren't. Girl showed up to work with short shorts over leggings. Manager told her that short shorts weren't allowed, so she made a show of taking off her short shorts. Since leggings were allowed, she was in compliance with the dress code, despite being less clothed than before. Nice job dealing with idiot adults. What was the reaction when you got home with no leggings on? OP replied. Luckily, I always had new clothes on after school due to drill team being 7th period. Nothing was ever noticed. Could you imagine your parents' reactions to telling them that your principal forced you to take the leggings off? They might have gone to murder someone if they found out that the school forced you to strip in front of someone. What a stupid rule, and what a ridiculously stupid principal. Duck that teacher too. OP replied. Agreed. That mentality is really freaking scary. Always follow the rules to the letter, do not question the rules, obey the rules even if the rules don't make sense. You're not supposed to understand the rules. And this is at school, a place where you're supposed to learn how to think. Good job on managing to escape unscathed from that world where it sounds like most adults were tyrannical robots. If you have children, I hope you can pass that on. OP replied. Thanks. The rules were most important at home too. No kids yet, but working through many of the lingering hang-ups and anxieties my childhood left me with. Hope to show nothing but unconditional love in my household.